Yay!
That weird countdown threw me off. I'm like, wait, is it a picture again?
So, hi everybody.
Weird thumbnail. Anyway,
Welcome.
welcome. Usually you don't see on here too often. It's usually just me babbling on. So, I have a cough drop in my mouth. Anyway,
But this time,
as
here.
I mentioned in the community, that we would, once we finish the Chucky series, at least season 1, because season 2 hasn't come to Shudder yet.
Yeah.
No
spoilers,
We would
please.
do a review. Season 3 is coming out in October, apparently.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chucky season 1.
Yeah.
Thoughts and thoughts. Yeah, I was trying to find. Yeah.
Now, would this include spoilers, or are we just talking the basic overview? What do you feel?
Things we should have discussed before we hit record.
What? We just go in the moment here. This is the moment.
Yep, this is the moment. So let's just do an overview without a spoiler free.
All right.
Yes.
So the basic overview is this is a Chucky series. All right, there we go.
Well done. Chucky, for those of you who perhaps slept through the 90s or did not exist yet, Chucky is the spirit of serial killer Charles Lee Ray, incarnated in a good guy doll. Yep. A good guy doll being based off the Cabbage Patch Kid craze of the 80s.
And My Buddy.
And My Buddy, yes.
My Buddy, yeah.
Kid
sister. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
The 80s were weird.
Yeah.
But so now his spirit is in the body of this 3 foot tall doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He uses voodoo to.
Yeah. I'm Chucky, wanna play? Yeah. And the first film actually plays it a little more into the horror zone of, the kid's doll is talking to him. The kid's doll is, it wasn't me, Chucky did it, that sort of thing. Yeah. And then there's the famous climactic scene where mom picks up the Chucky doll and opens, as he's talking to her, and she opens up his back and realizes there's never been any batteries inside of Chucky.
That's also why you don't buy dolls on the black market.
Yes.
That's just how she
so the films are all about, Chucky's murderous escapades. And...
Right, he's always trying to get out of that doll body and try to possess another, body. Takes him a while to do.
Yeah. But after a while, it seems like because as the movies get progressively sillier, because he's a doll. He's a tiny little doll. And I feel like his motivations kind of change a little bit when Bride of Chucky rolls around and they introduce Tiffany, his long lost Lerv, that he kills, and then her spirit goes into a doll.
Yep. Very Bride of Frankenstein,
Hence the title.
Yep.
And Chucky has been played all this time, by the way, by Brad Dourif. Tiffany is played by Jennifer Tilly.
Yep.
And they stopped making Chucky films for a while just because they were getting so silly.
Yeah, Cedar Chucky kind of tanked really badly, so they kind of went back to the drawing board. There weren't Chucky films for a while. And then they brought it back with a Curse of Chucky, which was, I believe, straight to video at the time. I believe I saw it on Redbox, and I was like, I'll watch it. I've seen all the other ones, and it was actually really good because they brought it back a little bit of that kind of quality that the first film had, where the things are happening, but you haven't seen Chucky actually move yet.
The gaslighting aspect,
but but at the same time, it's developing that creepy atmosphere, which I thought was refreshing and nice back to form,
bringing it back to horror.
Yeah. And then they had the last one, which actually went to Netflix, was the Cult of Chucky, and that's follows the character in there was Brad Dourif, played by Brad Dourif's real life daughter.
Fiona Dourif.
Was in the Curse of Chucky, and then her character gets blamed for the murders, basically. And so that's how she ends up in the whole Cult of Chucky thing. Well, by the end of that movie, there's spoilers for that at least. We won't spoil the show, but like just to get you set up to where we're at. Basically, he ends up splitting his soul, I guess, into a couple other dolls as well as Fiona's body now. And then Jennifer Tilly is also Tiffany. The real Jennifer Tilly actress is Tiffany's in her body. So there's a whole weird thing going
Tiffany. So and the reason we have to mention this is because going into Chucky, the series, Chucky is here to tie up all these loose ends.
Yeah, and there's a lot of loose ends.
All of them.
Yeah.
They will all be addressed on this one show.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
But that's what helps, though, is that the Don Mancini's been with him since Child's Play, so a lot of this is his creation and
so there's there actually is, as crazy as the through line is, a through line actually exists, which is more than you can say for a lot of slasher franchises. And so there is a connective tissue going on. And the series itself actually does a pretty darn good job of balancing the horror and the camp that has become synonymous with the Chucky franchise.
Right. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of good kills, and in terms
a lot of good kills, like some shocking kills, even.
Yeah. And we have some good new characters that we get introduced, as well as returning characters that I won't say who. But
do we want to talk about the new character?
I was going to get to that.
Sure. Awesome. Two brains, one thought.
Yeah. So. Man, it'd be good if I knew their names.
Jake.
Is that the main?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Jake is a teenager. He's kind of an artist and stuff like that. And he's gay.
He likes to build sculptures out of dolls.
And so that's how he gets a Chucky doll. Is that he gets it like a yard sale or something like that. And his dad's a drunk and not very approving.
Played by Devon Sawa.
And not very approving of his son's lifestyle and art and all that stuff. And then he also has a twin brother, also played by Devon Sawa, who's more well successful, but also puts a lot of pressure on his son,
Junior.
And then Junior has a girlfriend who's
Lexi.
Look at you remembering all these names. Half the time I have to sit there. What was that name? And she kind of starts off very much just like a really bitch. She's a bully. She's like the stereotypical mean girl. And over the course of the first season, she learns to empathize with others, move outside of her own pain, in order to form actual connections with other people. I would say of all the characters, she probably gets the most growth. Yeah, I'd agree.
And the actress who plays her does a really good job making that growth believable. Because you start out like that first episode being like, yes, Chucky, yes, kill Lexi. She's horrible. She is a nasty, nasty piece of work. And I think you by the fourth episode, no, don't kill Lexi. Lexi's got enough going on.
And then there's also the other boy that has the podcast.
Devon. Yeah. Devon.
Yeah. You might be right.
I hope I'm right.
Well, whatever. And he's kind of the sort of love interest of our main character.
He is the love interest
I'm just
Jake.
saying in terms of he's more than just a love interest.
No, he's more than, yes. He's also sort of the, what's a good way to put it?
True crime expert.
True crime expert in our little gang of intrepid.
And he's got a regular podcast that talks about these true crimes, and he talks about Charles Lee Ray and Hackensack, the town that
the history and
And you get a lot of flashback scenes as well to Charles Lee Ray, with some dubbing of Brad Dourif's voice over it, obviously.
Yes.
Not Brad Dourif. But so there's a lot of flashback scenes with him and Tiffany, and
you will not believe who actually is filling in for physically as young Charles Lee Ray. That was a huge shock to me when I figured that out.
Yeah, that's funny. But it's it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, like
it's really, really good.
Yeah, because my first heard they were doing a Chucky series, I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna work on.
How would you even do that?
Yeah,
And
but
they did it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when I've done these pitches and all that, it's like I've explained this. I don't feel like I could really do a pitch because I feel like they've already kind of done so much different things and outside that it's just like I don't know. I would pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's currently on. Well, I think it's on USA regularly.
Okay.
I believe, or Sci-Fi, one of the two. And then, but it's on. If you have Shudder, you can watch it on Shudder.
Yeah, the first season anyway.
One.
Yes.
Season 2 should be coming soon. I kind of wonder if maybe when season 3 comes out, it'll pop up on there around Halloween. That's when season 3 comes out. So maybe that's when. Because sometimes I notice that when another on Netflix would do. Why are you like touching my hands? Let my hands be there.
They keep going in my face. Anyway,
they're not in your face.
Go ahead.
They're here in my face.
Go anyway.
So, but yeah, a lot of times Netflix would do that with like The Flash or something like that. After their season would wrap up, they'd show up on there. So that could be, I don't know for sure. I don't work at Shudder, so I don't really know when they put things on. Yeah, but you can check out the first season, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Yes,
the casting is pretty good. There's a few actors that you're kind of like, oh,
but they're minor.
Yeah, they're minor. But you're like, oh, that character's not very good.
Yeah, but like of the leads, the main characters
are fine.
They're all good. Brad Dourif can still bring it as Chucky.
True.
And there's again, the mixture of horror and comedy is really, really good. The camp is really up there. It's funny. It's ridiculous. It's and it's still scary.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of still very shocking kill. Like it really balances those tones.
Absolutely.
Very well. And it knows what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that really plays to its strength.
Absolutely. So that is our thoughts on Chucky season 1. Obviously, whenever season 2 comes out, we'll come back and do a review of that.
And we look forward to seeing it, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I might have a pitch later. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of thinking it's like, because Scream is like, unlike the other ones I've done. For those of you who've seen my other pitches for Friday the 13th and Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, those ones there's sequels that was like, ooh, that would be an interesting way to go this way, or they did something weird or different. With Scream, it's pretty straightforward. So it's like it's kind of like, there's a killer, they're in a mask, and this is
Ghostface never goes to hell.
Or space or anything,
or goes to the moon or whatever,
to the hood, well, I guess he didn't. Actually, Scream Resurrection, he kind of did.
Okay.
But we're not going to talk about that piece of shit. Right. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.
Yes,
like and subscribe, and have a good night.
Yay!